Hello YouTube, this is Karacakes, and as you can see, we're here with another PGA Tour 2K23 video. Despite a new golf game coming out, the EA Sports PGA Tour, we're still playing 2K23. I'm dabbling in both. I think the content in EA Sports is really good, but I'm still getting to grips with the swing and all the mechanics around the game, so jury's still out on whether I like it or not. At first I hated it though, but it's growing on me. I'm here because you all need another TGCTours challenge circuit walkthrough. It's another week. Maybe less people are going to play this week, but regardless, I'm happy to continue making these videos. I'm still enjoying the game. I'm going to enjoy both. You are talking to potential Masters winner, or Firethorn Legends, as it's known on TGCTours, for Platinum. I have an 8-stroke lead late in Saturday, with the deadline coming up in about 3 hours. There's one person who can catch me, the #1 player in the world. He is 37 strokes behind though. I finished at -64. He's at -27 through 2, so it is very likely that I win, but it's not a guarantee. I'll update the description below if I end up winning or losing. But that's 2 straight weeks of fantastic results, whether I get first or second on the Masters event. It's time to get focused on the next week. We're past the Masters week, and it's time to look forward to Jacquard Causeway for the Oceanic Airlines Open. This is done by cd06. He's a really cool, nice person that I've interacted with multiple times, either on Twitch or on Twitter. He's really cool, so I'm glad to be playing another one of his courses. I've always enjoyed his courses in the past, so this should be relatively the same. So, a couple of things. There are 3 tee sets. We will only be using the black and blue tee sets, with the black being shorter than the blue. Black tee sets will be on round 1. I decided to show off round 2 because they are quite significantly shorter. The black tee sets are about 500 yards shorter. So I wanted to show you all kind of the back tees, the harder tees. Round 2 conditions are similar to round 2, so I just decided to show off round 2. Let's look at some of the course details. Firm, and fast means I think I chose the right thing, because round 1 looks like it's a little tiny bit easier. I think the greens are going to be faster, judging by the defaults. And as for the conditions, blue tees, pin 2, medium southwest, and the rest are default. So firm, and pretty fast. So I think it's in the 160s, the green speed, so it's definitely going to be quicker. Not as bad as last week, but let's get started. Not as bad as last week. We're going to start to get into a little bit of easier course after some challenging weeks on CC. So if you haven't enjoyed how tough it's been, well, you should get a break this week. Let's look at this. Pretty easy pin location. Only challenge is front right, with it running off to the right, and the camber of the fairway also going to the right. So you're gonna have a ball that wants to have a magnet towards that right side. So let's aim high. Ooh, that's a pretty bad slow. Might go in the rough. Yeah. A little unlucky. If you're gonna need to aim high there. But as we could see, we're a bit short. We're gonna need to take some distance off. Not too much though, because we have a lie out of the light rough, so we're gonna lose a couple yards. This lie is very severe. My shank is also severe, so I'm gonna aim fairly high up here, so that we don't flirt with this edge. I'd rather be over here even than risk being down here and off the green and in this bunker. So we're gonna aim out here, and let's see what happens. Not perfect. Did come back to the left, which is what I wanted. As we can see, we gave ourselves plenty of space to handle that runoff. So even out of the rough, we aim far enough left. It's a very severe lie at the fairway. That'll be the toughest challenge of that. Alright, so then we get a fairly challenging par 3, very long, but you have a slope back here that you get to use. So the goal here is to play it somewhere around here. You can even play it a little long if you want. Like, this is about the limit for a longer club for it to stop on the green, I would say. And try to, like, you can land it here, it'll go this way, and then hopefully you can get it to stop somewhere up here. There's a big slope here at the back, so if you can get it to run up here, it should come back down and you'll be on the green. I'm going to take some distance off because we're going downhill and wind at our back, so it should go pretty far if we don't take off enough distance. So let's see what happens. This is where I talked about, little slope right here. We have the slope on the right protecting us, and it funneled us back to the left. So we did good there. Come back, come back. Ah. It actually did break tremendously. Unfortunate. Let's take the par though. Just an unlucky putt, and I played it aggressively. If I took some power off of that, that might have gone good. So again, a lot of camber on these fairways. You gotta pay attention. If you aim left here and you stay on the left side, it might go in the rough. So aiming up here, hitting the middle of this slope will be your best bet. Tempo isn't fantastic today, but I played some EA golf, so my swing is going to be a little messed up from that. It is completely different swings. It is wild how different it is. Here, we're just going to land short of the hole. That's the goal here, is to land a little bit short of the hole. This downhill line might give us a yard or two, so keep that in mind. We want to land a little short of the hole and just leave ourselves an uphill putt. Big fairway lie. Keep that in mind when you're aiming your shot. The slow is going to hurt us really badly. I would rather have this on the left side, because if you're aiming from here, it's like just break, but it's uphill, whereas here where we ended up, it becomes like a neutral lie, but a lot of break, which makes it hard to read. I don't like these kinds of putts. I make them at a decent rate, but they are tougher. I hit it too hard. Unlucky. I felt it. And then I missed that. So as you can see, don't take it easy. I just took that putt for granted, like, oh, I'm gonna make this no problem. I missed it. Good job, me. Alright, same thing here. Fairway wants to camber to the left, so I'm gonna aim to the right and find a nice flat spot. You can't reach here, so just lay up to a good number that you want. You can lay up to, you know, here, and you'll have 100-yard in. Lay up more if you need even less club, but playing it, you can go for it with full backspin and maybe an overpower, but it is risky. So I'm just gonna lay up. You could put yourself closer in pitch range if you want. Even that driver will give you like a flop or something. I'm just not gonna risk it because there's a good chance it ends up in a bunker or something. Here, we're just going to manipulate our distance a little bit, either with this or this club. Hey, we hit a perfect. And there we go. That's what we want. We laid up to a good number, let the wind kill the ball a little bit. Nice little wedge in. Easy birdie. We won't eagle that unless the wind's at your back or you get a really good fairway lie. Ooh, a little fast, but we're gonna survive it. As you can see, the firmness is cranked up a little bit with the defaults. It is a tough shot. So you could lay up there if you don't want this pitch shot. I'm pretty comfortable with the pitch shot, so I'm willing to go for it. That's effectively a perfect, so we're happy. Left ourselves a little uphill putt. Good, good, good. Like that putt. Oh, our UI bug, so we press pause. If you ever have this where your UI doesn't show up and you can't see the distance and stuff, just press pause and it'll come back up. Right here, just get it into the fairway. You can bomb this if you want. You have a lot of fairway to work with, so if you want a shorter second shot, feel free to be more aggressive than I was, but I'm happy with this. We need to get this uphill, so 221-ish, 222-ish, but also wind at our back should carry it a little bit. So I'm looking at 216, 215, 214-ish. So you have to make the decision. If you have one of your longer clubs, right? Like I have this 5-iron. If it hits this slope up here, it should climb. If you hit it all the way down here, though, don't expect it to get up all the way. So know your club distances, know how much the elevation impacts it, and the lie at your feet. This might not get there. I'm going to put some spin on it to give it some extra distance and see if that helps. Oh, that's so slow. We take that, though. That's a good chip distance. We'll take that. I'm going to play it a little bit over to the right. Oh, that looks good. Oh, it is good. Nice eagle. I've become a master at chipping, it seems, because that has really helped keep my putts per hole down in platinum. Right here, you can lay up a little bit, look at the distance, look at the downhill elevation. You should be getting like 320, 330, 340, maybe even like 350 carry or, you know, total distance after the rollout and everything. So you need to make a decision. Do you want the pitch shot or do you want to lay up a little bit more and play your wedge in, full wedge? I'm going to just send it just to see what it's like, see what kind of distance we get. Like I said, like 340, 350, and we got 344, so it's a good shot. And it leaves me just in wedge range. I'm happy with that. Going to take a little bit off of it, just so we're short of the hole. Oh, that was slow. I felt it. But luckily, it's not going to lose too much distance. We got it far enough. We didn't take too much off of it. With a lob wedge, you can be very aggressive with the distances you dial in because it has a ton of natural spin. So I played that roughly pin high, like 1 yard short of pin high. So the slow didn't affect it too badly. So here we go. Short par 3. So you got to nail this. You can de-loft the club up and get it to roll up the hill, right? You have a couple options here. If you de-loft, you can get it to climb up here, play this slope, come into the right. But you're going to need to put a little bit of de-loft in forward spin to get it to come down if you use a lower club than is required. Or you could play this and try to play it for about right here to right here in this range. And that way you get a very nice, like, it'll stop because you're hitting like an 8 or a 9 iron and getting it to stop near the hole will stop it. So I'm going to loft this, take into account the elevation and everything. This is effectively playing like a 153. So make sure you take enough distance off. Fell fast. Luckily, there is slope on the left that'll keep it. Oh, but we got it too high. So that was just the fast took it too far, unfortunately. The fast was going with the wind, so unfortunately, like the wind even added some distance there. That's something, when you hit a fast with the wind, you tend to even gain like 2 or 3 yards depending on the club. And if you hit a slow with the winds, you don't lose as much yardage as you might think. In fact, if the wind is strong enough and at your back, sometimes you lose no distance at all. Oh my goodness. And I'm talking during my swing, so now you get to see a terrible Terrible shot. Let's see if we can recover from that, though. Look at the uphill, 96. You can tell right away this won't be enough club, because already we're at, like, what? We're going to gain it. We're going to lose at least 9 yards, right? From the elevation. And elevation plays a little less when you're in the rough or the sand, or, you know, just not with a 100% lie. But even considering all that, you're still going to lose a lot of distance, and the lie percentage doesn't make up for that either. So you're like, okay, I have like an 80% lie, 75 to 80% lie, right? That means there's no way that lob wedge is ever making it. Even if you took only like, the elevation only plays like 8 yards, you have a little bit of wind in your face, and you have a bad lie. You need to get this up. So 80, let's assume it's like 80% right here. Let's say we're losing 22 yards. Let's just say 20 to be kind, right? So 106, and then another 10 for elevation. That's 116. So this might work out. I'm going to put some spin on it because naturally there is less spin on the club out of the sand. And I expect this to come up pretty close to the hole because it's going to take one big bounce because we're playing with firm greens like you just saw, and it was uphill. Whenever you have a shot well below the hole, or you know, you had to climb up like 30 feet in elevation, that no matter what kind of shot you're taking, it's gonna take at least one big bounce. So in that case, we took advantage of that one big bounce to give us that extra little distance, and then we got it to stop. And out of the sand, things want to run out more. All right, as you can see, fairway lie again. Lots of pretty cambered fairway lies, and this one is uphill again. So remember, that same principle applies, especially on a longer club. A downhill or an uphill elevation means it's going to take a big kick and have less spin, because it never reaches the full trajectory of the ball. So just get this and get it up in the air to get it to settle a little bit more. Sometimes you need to add some spin. I added some spin here, and we ended up with a very good shot. I'm happy with that. I could have added even more spin, but it becomes tricky to aim and get the right tempo if you do that. But as you can see, a lot of downhill and slanted lie here. So this is, I got it in a very good spot. But that wasn't the easiest thing to do. See if we get our eagle, and we do. So despite our bogey, we've had 2 eagles. We made a lot of birdies, so we've made up the scoring. I even had a bogey at the start of my round 3 on the Masters, but I still managed to like turn around and still shoot a -16, I think. I played tremendously this weekend. This whole week. I've been playing amazing in this game again, and it makes me feel really happy. So in this scenario, again, uphill, so it's going to want to take a little bit of a kick, but here, because of the lie and everything, I'm just going to add like a touch of D-loft just to make sure it gets there. I need it to get there. Huge, severe slope at my feet, so I need to aim appropriately. I think that is a very good shot. So that D-loft helped. It gave us like that 1 extra yard to get it there, and gave it a little extra rollout too. You know, the 8-iron has a lot of spin on it, but, you know, even going uphill, it's going to have some more spin than other clubs, but still, it, as you can see, it wanted to roll out more than normal. Usually if I D-loft my 8-iron, it really rolls out. Alright, here we go again. You get a pitch shot here, so if you don't want a pitch shot, please lay up. I'm just gonna send this on its merry way. I stopped talking very briefly because I was swinging. Alright, looks good. That's my... I've hammered on it again and again. We missed the putt there, but leaving myself below the hole has been very helpful for me having less putts overall. And we got a little unlucky there, but I'm still happy with that attempt. Downhill elevation, keep that in mind. A little downwind, and down elevation. So wind's gonna play a little bit more. Keep that in mind. Oh, we hit a straight ball. Gonna be in a really nice spot. Beautiful. Left ourselves uphill. Beautiful. Another one. We are playing really well, and we just keep going. Here's a drivable. This is very aggressive if you decide to drive it. Just aim middle of the green if you're going to go for it. But you miss tempo, you're going to be down here. So do you want to risk being in the rough over here, where if you look at the green, as you can see, if you're in the rough on the right side, good luck getting the ball to stop. That's a lot of yellow and red and orange slope. You're not going to have fun if you're over here. And if you're down here, well, you have more of a chance, but there's a risk of water. Like, this could bounce off in a really awkward way and go into the water. So you need to pick what you want to do here. This is a very aggressive choice to go for it. I'm going to add spin to give it the distance, but again, that means if I miss tempo too badly, it's going to miss even worse. Hit the good tempo, though. Let's see if it carries the bunker. It does. With the wind at our back, we get the extra distance, and I'm happy with that. I am happy with that because we can chip up and down very easily from there. We're just going to play it here. Play it to the right or left. Because we know we shank it a lot. And we're happy with that. Being below the hole there is perfect. Because it's much easier to stop the ball from down there than it is from the rough on the right. Alright, hit another shot. Be careful of that middle ridge, kicking your ball left and right. Here is a pretty straightforward green. Pin is not in a scary spot at all. You have lie at your feet, so keep that in mind. 179... 185, 186. We're going to loft it a bit. Ah, that's too slow. Should still kick on the green, though. Got away with it. Thanks to the firmness of the fairways. And we may collect another birdie. So sometimes you miss tempo, but if you aim in a generally good area, sometimes you're still rewarded. I didn't want to aim too far to the right because, you know, if I slow it, well, that can happen. Alright, so we need to get this up this slope, so be careful. Don't add spin forwards or don't add backspin or anything if you have something like this, because elevation still matters. I'm even adding some forward spin to make sure it gets up this hill. I do not want it to come down at all. And there's enough hill to work with. It's all uphill that we aren't punished for putting some forward spin on it. Don't add too much, but a little bit to make sure you get up a hill can be very, very useful. Downhill, again. Another pretty severe elevation change. We're going to loft it. Didn't need to loft it that much, but I'm pretty happy with that still. Feel okay with this putt? Oh, yes. So left ourselves a downhill putt, unfortunately, but you don't want to go over, right? So I played it safe. Really hate downhill putts in this game, but sometimes you have to live with them. It's better than taking a bad risk. So, same thing here, remember? Longer club. We're going to need a little bit of loft to get this to stop. So, know your club distances and everything. Big severe slope is going to affect your shot here. Don't need to aim as much here. I'm going to take some off, like I said, because we have a little bit of wind at our back. Just a tiny bit. And since it's a 4-iron, it's going to roll out. So a little bit of loft kills it a little bit more. As we could see, it helped. The fast didn't help, but we're still in a good spot. We have a chance to make eagle. If we don't, we have an easy tap-in birdie. But we get the eagle. That's how many eagles? 1, a 2, and a 3 to make up for that bogey. And it's as if the beginning of the round didn't even happen, where we're even through 3 holes. We still shoot a -16. Well done. That was a fun course. It has some interesting fairway lies that are the main challenge this week. The fairway lies, learn how to handle them. Learn how to handle how much it sends your ball left and right. Use the color of the grids to dictate, okay, this is red. I see these beads are moving fast. So I know I need to make sure, like, I need to know this is playing like 5 or 6 yards on our longer clubs and 4 yards on our like 8-iron, and maybe it's only like 3 or 4 yards on our pitching wedge, but it's still a significant amount. And then if you're really on a sideways lie, you know, I need to play it safe. I need to keep aiming left, 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 left if the slope is taking you to the right, right? And avoid those dangerous areas where it wants to run off the green. That first hole was the perfect example. The slope wants to take it towards the runoff, so we play it even safer and play it even more to the left. And if that way, if we misread, we're going to be in a safe spot still. As you saw in that first hole, I thought it was going to be a little bit left of the pin, but I ended up going straight at the pin. So that little extra to the left gave us the easiest birdie we could ask for on a shot like that. So that's what you got to do. Use those fairway lies as a learning opportunity to figure out how to play them more. Anyways, that'll do it for me. Thank you all for watching. This has been a fantastic couple weeks back. The first 2 weeks back of content back to the YouTube, back to the Twitch has been wonderful. Come on and hang out with us over on twitch.tv/karacakes. I send a stream 2 to 3 times a week. Usually, definitely I stream on Fridays, almost always Friday evenings Eastern time. But sometimes, you know, the first 2 rounds of TGCTours, sometimes it's on a Wednesday, sometimes it's on a Monday, sometimes it's on a Sunday. Just depends. Keep up with the Twitter, twitter.com/karacakexIV. The links are all below if you don't remember them, so just click those links. I try to give some updates. Like today, I'm going to be watching the LCS in about, let's say 5 minutes. I want to watch some League of Legends with my friend Ellie. So we're going to go watch League of Legends. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you. Good luck on your CC rounds for this week at Jacquard Causeway by cd06. Wonderful designer. Good person all around. Thank you all so much. I'll see you next week. Take care. Love you guys. Goodbye.